Microsoft has just released a new feature coming to Edge, and people are like, this is the thing that's going to get me to switch to Edge. Really? Let's talk about this today. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, of course, Edge, the old incarnation of Internet Explorer. The best browser to download a better browser. That's been the joke of it forever. Of course, they dropped their old code base for this browser to adopt Chromium, which of course means that now there is a greater dominance of Chromium in the marketplace, which in and of itself is sad and tragic. But of course, now they're doing a lot of little tiny tweaks and adjustments in here and there. They're cramming AI into stuff and things like that. But they are just announced a brand new feature, and people are like, this is genuinely causing me to want to switch to Edge. Let's have a look. From Tech Radar. Here we have Microsoft's Edge new search feature has me genuinely considering moving over from Chrome. First and foremost, why are you using Chrome? That's like horrible. I mean, you're talking about a browser that collects every bit of data and sends it upstream into a company that makes all of its money by knowing as much information about you as conceivably possible. Have a little dignity for yourself and use some other browser that's not going to tie that much data directly into it. Of course, I like Firefox, LibreWolf, Mullvad browser is good. If you're like super hardcore, you might go with a Tor browser, but I understand why you wouldn't, and in many cases shouldn't use that. Don't use a Tor browser if you need to log into anything. You've completely defeated the purpose of that. I have a video about privacy web browsers. We'll go ahead and put that one here on a card up here on YouTube, so you can go ahead and see that, and you can search for it on my channel wherever else you are watching this video. That being said, however, what they're doing here is this guy's surfing like a pro. What is the new feature? Well, they've just unveiled a new feature in Microsoft Edge. The CEO of advertising and web services at Microsoft, users will now be able to search the internet with two search engines at the same time. I'm going to use the worst web browser in the world, possibly arguably worse than Chrome. I mean, who's the bigger devil, Google or Microsoft? I don't know. Of course, Google did drop "Don't be evil" from the slogan. That should say enough. But that being said, of course, users will now be able to search the internet with two search engines at the same time, switching between search engines based on their default settings. MS Power User gives us a great example to explain how this works. Say Bing is your default search engine because you have mental damage. If you click on the icon, the search icon highlighted in the tweet below, which, okay, sure, let's go ahead and allow once. We'll see if this tweet loads. In the tweet below, then let's see, you'll see the results displayed from your alternative search engine like Google. This also works in reverse. You can navigate your search results simultaneously and compare the two according to what you're looking for. So this is their whole thing. Edge has a button that allows you to toggle between two search engines. Something you do with two browser tabs on any browser. Literally any browser tabs. Really. And so we have an interesting idea here. The problem is it is not new, and all it does is gives us two different search engines. Why? Well, I guess more people don't like Bing, and so some people are still using Google, which in and of itself is problematic. You should be using something else. However, like your search engine, your browser is like your search engine, your search engine is like your browser. You vote for whichever one you hate the least because none of them are super ideal. Start Page has its problem. Brave has its problem. DuckDuckGo has its problem. And of course, Google and Bing have their huge problems tied to the big companies that they are. So this guy's like, could I become an Edge user? What is this, an advertisement for Edge? Well, you see, here's why this is so ridiculous. There's this thing called SearX. Now, SearX is an open source project, which means you can actually host it yourself. You're perfectly capable of hosting this thing yourself. And as you are hosting it yourself, you can set it up for all sorts of different functionalities or whatever else. Or you can just head on over to SearX.space and you can get a list of SearX search engines. There's 62 available search engines here. And what you're going to be able to do is just log into these guys over here and you get a search engine. And here's the thing about SearX. SearX is a search engine that is effectively a meta search engine, like DuckDuckGo usually represents Bing searches minus your personalized data. Start page typically gets you Google search results without your personal data. Well, what SearX does is it gives you the ability to choose which search engines you're even going to use. This one must be focusing, that's for files. Here's your general search engines: Bing, Brave, DuckDuckGo, Mojik, Presearch, Quant. Let's do start page. Yahoo, that's Yahoo like infuriates me, so let's not use that one. So you can go in and customize all of the different searches that you want. Let's go ahead and search for something like switched to Linux. So over here, let's do this. This one here gives me my first result is my website from Google. Here is the channel from YouTube, which isn't YouTube, but it is a little thing that's from Google. Here is another one. Here's ZDNet, just something else. Here's this guy says I switched to Linux a long time ago. So there's a couple there representing my items or whatnot else. So you can see that you can go in and you can customize all of your search options inside of here. You also have the ability inside of this system to go ahead and choose what search engines you want to use on a single item here. So here's cookies. You can reset. So this will save the cookie about it. So next time you come back to this particular site, then it'll save your stuff, or you can just delete your cookies later. So if you don't like the Belgian one, you can grab them. Most of these are the same. A few of them I did see are older versions of it. So some of them are not as up to date. Let's see. I don't see the other one I clicked on that was a little out of date, but maybe we can randomly stumble upon a slightly older one. Now, this one here. Oh, I think the first one was a little bit out of date. This is the one that's the current one, I believe. So here's your search engines, so I can turn on or turn things off. You can see that some of them have different default settings. So if you self-host your own SearX instance, you can set these settings for yourself and pass this out to people. I actually did set it up once, and I checked, and I didn't actually create a video on it. I don't know why, but I've actually experimented with it. It works pretty well. So if somebody's like, oh, I want to switch to Microsoft Edge, or lets me search two search engines at the same time, just remind them that SearX is a thing, and don't switch to Bing or Edge. Okay, these are not browsers that you want to give market dominance to. We should be moving ideally as far away from the Chromium base as we can. So no Chrome, even no Brave, even no Edge. Any of these browsers based on that, to give the competitor Firefox a better chance, because we need more than one search engine code base, especially since the Chromium code base in and of itself is owned and controlled by Google itself. And so to me, when I see an article like this that says that, hey, Microsoft Edge is pushing out a brand new feature that's making me consider switching from Chrome, they're just trying to seek more market dominance. And over what? Over searching two search engines at the same time, which you can do with a browser tab. I mean, really, that's insane. But I did want to bring this article here to you. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you all next time. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.